Well, the Airbnb IPO has successfully happened. Or, well, I don't know if it's successful for the guy who bought at $160. Currently, Airbnb trading at $143 here pre-market today after its initial public offering. What's going on? What's the news? And what should we do from here? Talking about Airbnb here in this video. So, stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today we're talking about Airbnb. We talked about Airbnb just the other day, talking about was it a buy, was it a sell? Should I be loading up on Airbnb IPO? What is the deal, people? Woo! All right, so yesterday you can see the price of Airbnb opening up there at about $140, rallying all the way to a high of $165, and then crashing back down to the lows on the day at $142. Today, it's at $143 pre-market. It's a pretty insane move here for this IPO. We knew there would be a lot of hype around it. We knew there'd be, momentum and things like that, especially in today's world with the internet and the gambling just coming out strong. So Airbnb, what's the deal? There was an article that came out on Forbes talking about how Airbnb can justify its $100 billion valuation. So yesterday, the shares closing at $144 gave the company a valuation over $100 billion. Although there are pitfalls, although there are risks with any type of investing, some people say that they believe that Airbnb will grow larger than companies like Booking.com, which is an $85 billion company. So we're already at that valuation we're already at a higher valuation than Booking.com, so I don't know why they're even talking about it. The news also, so originally the IPO pricing target was around $44 to $50 for the IPO on Airbnb. Obviously, you can see behind me that was much higher. It opened at a much higher price because the demand, I guess, was there. How all of a sudden Airbnb is worth $100 billion, which is what it's hard to justify now with Airbnb being worth $100 billion valuation, while a company like Marriott, hotel company with 1.4 million rooms over their entire portfolio there, their current market valuation is around $44 billion. So Airbnb is trading at 3 times the valuation of the world's largest hotel company. I don't know. That just seems a little interesting. Google search for Airbnb has already surpassed search for Booking.com globally. They said that Airbnb is continuing to spend less on their marketing budget than Booking or Expedia. Most of their budget is spent on brand building. Also, Airbnb is looking to become a holistic travel company. They are doing the Airbnb experiences like cooking classes and local tours. So they've got other things to offer that some of the hotel chains and some of the other booking websites don't have. But again, we're trading 3 times right now, trading at 3 times the valuation of the largest hotel chain in the world with 1.4 million rooms every night for rent or for hotel stays. So how does Airbnb grow from here? Airbnb has talked about doing student housing, rural homes, and other long-term stays that they haven't fully explored. And they say that they're like the sunflower. Where the sun is, that's where Airbnb will turn. Another analyst also believes that Airbnb has a competitive advantage that most of the single home owners are only on Airbnb, not on Booking.com or VRBO. And I guess the theory is that it's easier to work with one platform to work with Airbnb to be able to create some of that additional revenue by renting out a room in your house. Also, if you look at Booking.com, they have not caught up on this alternative accommodation setup that Airbnb has. So Airbnb has that kind of first mover advantage here. And Airbnb has been kind of the first one to make the move in this idea of home sharing. Airbnb, at some point might plateau in the leisure world because of the barriers in the business space, but small business travel is possible. But small business travel is possible on Airbnb, And there's a lot of opportunities here for it to look at here. Now it may. So the analysts went on to say that they believe that Airbnb won't delete hotels. Obviously, that hotels will always be around, but Airbnb is fulfilling different needs that the larger big chains cannot fulfill, and that's something that Airbnb has the advantage with, especially with the younger generation, the millennial generation, people that think that it's cool, it's hip to go and book on Airbnb instead of going on like Expedia or going to Marriott's.com. So it's really interesting. Is this worth $100 billion at this point? Airbnb, it's zooming. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens from here going forward. We talked about the other day, is it, do I really want to be buying at these levels? Personally, I would not want to be buying Airbnb at $144 when people just bought it a few weeks ago, or, for the IPO price around $60. So the company itself is, I think, at this point overvalued, getting a little too far ahead of itself after the first IPO day here. We'll see what happens. We've seen this before with other companies like Snapchat, Uber, and Lyft that had big IPO days, big moves the first couple days after the IPO, and then they just started to trickle off and kind of just head lower from there. So we'll see what happens. Airbnb, I think it's a better, I would love to see Airbnb back down, at the $60 to $50 area for a buy, but I'm not sure I would be investing at this level now, especially with the world the way it is. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this pandemic, this whole travel restriction is going to end anytime soon. And that's just going to be resistance for Airbnb going forward. Going forward, Airbnb has resistance, obviously, with the overall health and pandemic and things that is going on in the world right now. So we'll see what happens. That's the chart. That's what happened yesterday. Wow, it's amazing. I mean, if you would have bought it $146 right when it opened on IPO and you sold it $160, you would have made $20 a share. Wow, that's day trading, and that's the dream, right? That's the dream. So there it is, Airbnb. We got to move, and you can see there it is, up there to $165. It moves so much in one day that I couldn't even show it on the chart here. So there it is. If you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. What do you guys think? Airbnb, is it going to the moon, or is it going to start cratering lower from here? I don't know about you guys. We'll find out.